I tracked my habits for 570 days, and it completely changed my life. You know the good habits, but you haven't been doing them. You want to improve your life, your physical and mental health, and your productivity. You know there's a better life out there for you. A better body, better women, better friends, a better car, freedom, and be honest, man, more income. But you feel stagnant in the same town with the same people doing the same bad habits. Drugs, scrolling, eating unhealthy food. You have been trying. You'll go to the gym a few times. You'll cut out sugar for a few days. You've tried to stop smoking weed. But the motivation always seems to run out. You fall back into the same old patterns of behavior. True, life-changing improvement seems unattainable. Sometimes, you might even feel trapped. I know this because I've been in the same position. I had known about the good habits. I had been telling people to meditate, have cold showers, read books, and go to the gym. But I could never do these things consistently. It felt like an uphill battle. It was always so much easier to go back to the short-term, pleasure-seeking habits that I had become so comfortable with. Until I started to track my habits. I developed a system that held me accountable. A system that made it so painful for me to slack off that I have no choice but to do the good habits every day. Tracking my habits has changed my entire perception of the world. I feel in control. Within a matter of days, I can improve my mental health from a 3 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. I'm going to show you my exact daily routine and habit tracking strategy that has changed my life and also changed my self-image. When I look in the mirror, I no longer see an incapable, lazy degenerate. I see a young man who is going places. A young man who in a few years will have the life that he's always dreamt of. And it's all thanks to the good habits. I never really liked the traditional way of habit tracking, where most people will do it in a notebook. I use a calendar. I find a calendar to be way easier and just way better. So I'm going to show you a quick video that shows you what my habit tracking has looked like over the past couple years. Hey bro, I wanted to show you what my habit tracking has been looking like for the past couple years. It's February 2024 when I started. We got March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then this has been 2025. So it's January, February, getting kind of more consistent. April, I fucking locked in. May was fucking shit. May was terrible. June, getting back up. July was pretty good. August was kind of rough again. And this has been September, and here we are now. So that's it, past couple years of habit tracking. So what the rest of this video is going to be is me showing you my daily routine, and I'm also going to show you what each day of habits looks like for me, how I write them down, how I notate them, and I'm going to explain each of the habits, what they are, basic rundown of why I do them, and explain to you the benefits, explain how I do it, and yeah, let's get to it. Alright man, so this is my daily routine. I've made it on Google Calendar, and I've kind of cut it down so I can use it as my phone wallpaper. Pretty much every single device I own, it's my wallpaper. I have a fucking physical copy that I've stuck up on my wall, so every day I just look at it. But the daily routine is very, very important. I wouldn't sleep on it. It's so much easier to enact the habits and do the good habits when you have a very, very structured day. And don't get all scared. Like, a lot of people get freaked out. Like, oh no, like, oh, I don't want to live that structured, like, very routine life. Like, I want to be free. I want to, you know what I mean? And I get that. But you'd be surprised the amount of freedom that comes from having a disciplined, structured life. right? Even just to have that system in place. I don't follow it 100% every day. Some days I'll do something else. Some days I'll go to other places and hang out with other people and do other things. I still make plenty of amazing memories. But I have this system in place that when I'm not doing anything, I don't have to think about it. I have the exact system to where I will do the good habits, and the system that's actually going to take me towards my goals in the future, to know that I'm making improvement every single day. So that's my daily routine. Now on this side I got a little square of what each day on the calendar looks like. So before I showed you that video of, you know, my calendar over the past couple years of me tracking my habits. And, you know, it's evolved as time has gone on. I've gotten better and I've developed my own way of tracking my habits. I've never seen anybody else do it anything like this, right? Everyone uses some gay fucking graph on a notebook. I fucking hate that shit. Every single, you know, the calendar for each day, it has like a square, right? And this is what I do. As I go out through the day, I will notate and take down, you know, each time I do a good habit, I write it down on the day, on the calendar, right? You understand what I'm speaking about. So this is what it looks like. Obviously right now, you have no idea what any of the random letters and things mean. But as a basic, just to basically explain it, I'm going to go through every individual habit and follow the routine. And this video is going to be me going through my day and showing you exactly the habits I do, at what times I do, how I write them down, just to show you the exact system in crazy fucking autistic detail, right? I've never seen anybody else online go into the amount of detail that I'm going to go into. So obviously it's very personal to me, right? My life is not going to look like everybody else's life, but you can adapt these things to your own schedule and your own obligations and things. But essentially, when you look at, I have a copy of it here, when you look at the square with all the habits that I've tracked, in the top left corner, that's the time I wake up. So I write down the time that I wake up. It's about 4:15 normally. And then as you go down the rows, so there's like SK, that stands for skip, SG, that's sun gaze. So each habit I represent as like 2 letters. You know, just because it would take really fucking long to write down and it would fill up the thing really fast, right? So each of those 2 letters is an abbreviation for a good habit. And as you go down in rows, that's as I do the good habits. On the right side of this little square here, like right here, those are the bad habits that I'm trying to quit, right? So there I said no weed, no cig, that's no cigarettes, no YouTube, no content, and no carbohydrates, right? So these are all the bad habits that I'm trying to stop. So for every day that I do not do one of those bad habits, I'll write it down. Say no weed, I didn't smoke any weed, no cigarettes, right? And what I do as I have a string of days where I haven't done the bad habits, what I'll do is I'll actually have I'll do a streak, right? So if I haven't smoked weed for 3 days, I'll write down no weed with a little 3 next to it, right? To represent that I've been clean for 3 days. So that's pretty much the goal with the bad habits, is to, you know, as you go on, build a streak that's really fucking fat. So for me, I've pretty much quit weed now. This was my strategy that I used. Just by writing it down, you hold yourself accountable, and every day you come back and you get a sense of, you start to get fucking like dopamine and like, you know, all your neurochemicals and shit from writing this shit down. I've programmed my brain. I'm so fucking tied to these habits that if I have a day that's blank, I feel like shit. Right, and you can say, oh, don't be so hard on yourself and this and that. But if I fucking have a day that's full like that, if I get a month and every day the square is full, I feel fucking amazing. It's ridiculous how much my brain has been tied to these habits. And personally, I believe that's how you do the good habits, is you associate them with well-being and happiness. So for me, it's, if I don't do the good habits, I feel like shit. If I look at my calendar and it's blank, like I showed you that video of my habits in May, it was just blank. Like every single day, I didn't write them down. I would have done a good, because they're habits to me now, so I would have done a few good habits. But if I don't write them down, I feel like shit. So either way, that's how I quit weed. I got the streak going. No weed. It was no weed 1, no weed 2, no weed 3, and I ended up getting to like 160. And now I don't even write it down anymore. I'm not addicted to weed anymore. So I like every single day on the calendar it would be no weed 2, no weed 3. As it continues to go, I would build a streak. And then, just to finish it off, obviously a few more habits there. It says 8 o'clock, that's when I go to bed. It's my bedtime at the end. And in the middle there, I have written just happy memory. This isn't really habit tracking, but I like to do just on my calendar. I look back over the day, and I just write a memory that sticks out to me. I just like to do this. I like looking back on the months and being to look at every single day and having a specific memory. I think people have this idea that when you get older, time goes faster, right? I would beg to differ. I think that when you get older, the only reason time seems to go faster is because you don't experience new things and you don't remember what you did in your days because they become so monotonous and the same and, insignificant. But if you, if you write down a happy memory or just a nice memory that stuck out to you from every single day on your calendar, you're going to be able to look back to every single day and have a specific memory to look back on. Personally, I feel like that from my experience when I do this, like May went really fucking fast for me because I was just doing a bunch of drugs and like not fucking, I didn't write down any of the memories. I probably did a bunch of cool shit in May, but I don't fucking remember it, right? But other months like April, the start of September went really, really slow. Right, and that's something else I've noticed is the more I write my habits down, the more kind of like locked in and disciplined I am. The slower time seems to go. That's a weird point, but if you can gain value from that, Either way, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna erase. Wait, hold on. Sorry, man. There's gonna be a bit of. I'm not a fucking tech nerd, so shit like this is kind of tough for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna erase. I'm gonna erase everything. Fuck off. What the fuck? Alright. Sorry, bro. I'll cut this out when I do the. Okay. So, I erased everything. Alright, man, so everything's erased. So, I'm just gonna go through my day as if I just woke up. I'll tell you every single habit that I do. I'll write it down as I go, just as I do in my normal day. And I'll just run you through the entire daily routine. And obviously, just to preface, my day is going to be a lot different than yours, right? I have a strange kind of job where I have a split shift. I wake up at 4 a.m. some days and go to work, right? I work it says dairy there. I work at a dairy farm. So obviously, a very different sort of job than a lot of other people. So your time blocks, your daily routine will look a lot different than mine. But the principles that I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to explain to you reasons why I've structured it the way I have. And yeah, we'll just go through it, man. So, I wake up, have an alarm for... Oh, fuck, this is going to be tough. So, I have an alarm for 4:15. So, I wake up, 4:15. Immediately, well, probably not immediately, but I write the time down. The reason I wake up so early is obviously some days I have work, but the days I do not have work, I still wake up at 4 a.m. And I do this, if you look at my daily routine, it says deep work bars, right? So I make music, and personally I find I make the most music, my best music, I'm the most productive. And this is a fact of the fucking universe, and if you disagree with me, you've been brainwashed. Every person is their most productive in the morning, right? None of this, oh, I'm a night owl. What the fuck? People condition themselves to think that they work better at nighttime. People never do. Our brains get fatigued throughout the day, especially if we go to a job, go to school. Your ability to work, right, and to produce things that you care about, to create things like even art and music, your ability to do those things, goes down progressively throughout the day. So I wake up really fucking early and make music. That's what that time block there says. But before I make music, before I do anything in my day, I do my first habit. Oh, sorry, bro. There you go. SK for skip. So the first thing I do in my day, every single day, is I wake up, I grab my skipping rope, right? It's fucking autistic, but I hang it on my doorknob, right? So when I wake up, walk out of my room, my skipping rope's right there. How the fuck am I not gonna skip? I put my shoes next to my bed, wake up, shoes on, grab the skipping rope. It's 4:15 a.m. and I go out and I do skipping on the street. Now the reason I do this, obviously cardiovascular health. That's an amazing thing. More endurance, heart health. I'll live longer. It makes you last longer in bed if you have good endurance and everything. So skipping's fucking lit. The reason I do it so early because it actually helps your circadian rhythm. You know what I mean? Like when your body gets used to exerting yourself that early in the morning, so you program your body to wake up that early. Like a lot of the time, I wouldn't even need an alarm, since I'm just so used to getting up and exerting myself really fast. My body is just gets used to that. So doing cardio, it doesn't have to be skipping. Whatever you want, you could be running, biking, anything. I just find skipping's the easiest. I just do it in one place. And skipping right early in the morning. I've heard from other people that if you do cardio too close to your bodybuilding workout, you actually lose gains. So that's another reason I do skipping right in the morning. Right? I separate cardio directly in the morning, gives me this boost of energy, right? And it programs my body to wake up and be alert straight away, right? I don't wake up and I'm all sloppy and shit anymore. I wake up and just because I'm so used to, exerting energy and everything immediately in the day, I just wake up fucking clear-headed, like ready for the day, right? So my first habit is skipping immediately in the day. Another good thing is it puts you in this sort of mindset that you're just a fucking badass, right? If it's fucking 4:15 a.m. and you're out on the street skipping in the middle of the dark, right? You're gonna feel like a fucking badass. You're gonna feel like, fuck, bro, everyone else is so fucking lazy, right? And, people are afraid of this kind of arrogant, big ego kind of thing, but I think it actually serves you a lot, going throughout your day with this mindset of, yeah, I'm a fucking badass. Yeah, fuck yeah, I just woke up at 4 a.m. and I'm doing cardio out on the street. Who the fuck does that? Like, I'm fucking sick, right? So, skipping is the first habit. Once I've introduced this habit into my life, I think it really helps with energy, like a huge amount with energy, especially early in the morning. Circadian rhythm, waking up, sleep, everything has been improved by this habit, skipping right in the morning. Now, my next habit, right? So normally, after skipping, I'll either go to work, so I'll either go to a shift at my job, or I'll make music in my bedroom. And, oh fuck, I forgot another thing. Let's say I make music in my bedroom, right? For every single 4 bars that I record of music, I put a tick down. I forgot to put that in the intro. That was gonna be annoying. I put a tick. So for every 4 bars that I record, right? Here it says bars because for me, that's the hardest thing about music is recording vocals. The most, the thing I procrastinate the most. So that's what I'm focusing on. So for every 4 bars I record, I do a tick like that. And then boom, that's 16 bars. That's a whole verse. So if I wake up in the morning, I'll record some bars like that. Again, just what I've heard this quote before. What gets measured gets managed, right? So I'm gonna seem like a fucking an autist in this video, like a really fucking autistic nerdy motherfucker, cause like, you know, I can't just live a normal life. I have to write down symbols for everything, and but I'm telling you, bro, it fucking helps. It fucking helps when you're this fucking autistic about like, I do a tick for every 4 bars that I record. So either way, if I make music in the morning, every 4 bars of music that I record onto the fucking FL Studio, I do a tick. I just track that. So once I'm done doing my deep work. So again, I say deep work there just meaning to be focused, right? There's a whole book about deep work. It's a great book. After that, the sun will be up. So at this point, I do my sun gaze. SG for sun gaze. People think I'm fucking weird for the sun gazing, but again, improvements to testosterone, energy, circadian rhythm. We are meant to see the sun immediately as it comes up. In our primal, ancestors, cavemen, they just wake up when the sun gets up like a normal fucking animal, right? Humans nowadays are so disconnected from what we were in nature, right? We think, oh, we'll get in a dark room and sleep in. We'll sleep in until 10 a.m. What the fuck is that? That makes no fucking sense, right? You go to bed, kind of you're meant to start getting sleepy when the sun goes down, and you wake up when the sun gets up, right? I do it like a bit earlier, so I wake up in the dark. But immediately as the sun starts rising, this sounds so weird, but sun gazing. People think this is some woo-woo hippie shit, like it's not real. But personally, I've found great benefits from this. I think anyway. It's meant to boost your testosterone. I also do it like obviously shirtless, like shorts. I try and get as much sun over my body as I can. And all you do, you obviously don't be stupid about this, right? Like if the sun is fucking like if it's risen up into the sky, it's a bright light. Don't stare at the fucking sun. Like, if it's burning your eyes, like, don't be a fucking idiot, right? Like, you do sun gazing in the morning. When the sun just comes over the horizon, it's nice and orange and red, right? And you squint. You squint, and you see it like imagine you're, like, I have to draw this. So you squint your eyes. Where is it? Alright. So you squint. So imagine this is your eyelid. You're, like, squinting. You want the sun right here. So you almost look at it like through your eyelid, right? So it's like you're not staring like dead fucking eyes open like some psychopath staring at the fucking sun. You just allow sunlight to creep into your eyes. This is meant to boost your testosterone. I'm sure it does. I've heard a lot of sources say that it does. Early morning sunlight, boosting it, regulates your hormones. It's just the healthy, natural thing to do. Why would you want to not get sunlight in the morning? So obviously, and sun gazing just takes it a step further. There's certain, spiritual teachers that speak about sun gazing as, the sun is the source of energy for the whole solar system, for the entire Earth. So when you're staring at it, you're absorbing its energy and things like that. So yeah. And one thing I want to preface about every single habit is that you only have to do it for like 2 seconds to actually be able to track the habit down. We want to make it easy on ourselves, right? So I used to do the thing where I'd say, instead of just my habit being skip, my habit would be skip for 5 minutes or skip for 10 minutes. And obviously that's more optimal to skip for a long amount of time, but that's also more difficult. So it's far harder to create a habit if we make it harder, if that makes sense, right? Our habits should be so fucking piss easy that when we're not feeling very motivated, they're still easy to do. So right now, there have been days where I don't feel like skipping. Of course. Right? Some days you're going to wake up and you're going to want to sleep in. But you're like, fuck, I have to skip. I have to get up and skip. That's what my fucking system is. That's what the habits are. I have to get up and skip. So it's going to be so much more difficult if you have to skip for 10 minutes, if that's what your habit is, right? So the point I'm making here is each habit should take 2 seconds maximum. Some days I've gone out, I've grabbed my skipping rope, gone out onto the street, and I've done like 3 skips. Like, I'm not even bullshitting. I've done like, and I'm like, fuck, hey, I did it. At least I skipped. You know what I mean? But that's how we get habits. Right? The more important thing is that I went out, got the skipping rope and did one skip, right? Obviously, that's not going to really improve my cardio or anything, right? But that's not what we're focusing on. The whole point of this is to develop the habit so that over a long period of time, you will eventually just progressively get better and better and better. We don't want to make it so hard for ourselves to do these habits, right? So I just want to preface that every single habit, you only have to do it for 2 seconds, right? So I'm going to continue along. Sun gaze. Sun gaze is normally, obviously the sun gets up, but we're going to get into my morning routine now. So I start my morning routine, same time I get home from work, which is about quarter past 8, right? 8 a.m. Now, sorry bro, a lot of fucking techie shit going on in this video. So sun gaze. After sun gaze, immediately I'll go take a shit, right? My body just gets used to taking a shit at this time. So when I shit, what do? Oh my god. Fucking thing. I read. RD. That's my abbreviation for read. So many fucking people, right? This pisses me off, but I hear everybody say, "Oh, I don't have time to read." I've asked so many people like, "Oh, do you read books?" Yeah, you should read this book. And then they're like, "No, I don't have time to read." What the fuck? Everybody takes shits. Everybody sits on the fucking toilet for X amount of time and does a poop, right? Put a fucking book next to the fucking poo-poo thing, so when you poop, you get the book and read it. Instead of being on your fucking phone, instead of fucking, like, scrolling, or just sitting there, like, brain-numbingly, like, not doing anything. Everybody takes shits. If you haven't developed the habit of reading, just read every time you poo. I find that it helps me poo, too, so it's fucking lit, right? I sit there, I have my book right next to the toilet, I pick it up, I read it. This is what James Clear, Atomic Habits, this is what he refers to as habit stacking. Everybody normally has the habit of things like shitting, brushing their teeth, habits that we've developed since childhood, right? So if you want to develop a new habit, you can do what's called habit stacking, where you stack it onto an old habit. So most people have the habit of shitting, right? So I thought, if I want to read more, why don't I just shit while I'm reading? You just stack the habits. So every time you shit, just read a book. Read a non-fiction book, right? Like a self-improvement, self-help book, some education, something, right? Read a book that's going to make you a better person, a smarter person, right? Just do that every time you shit. That's, boom. I can't, of course education is fucking important. You know the benefits of reading. So read when you take a poo, right? After that, cold shower. Cold showers are great for your skin, great for your muscles, recovery, things like that. It's also great because it's uncomfortable. It's a bit difficult. It requires a little bit of discipline. Every time you jump into the cold shower, you obviously a warm shower feels nicer, right? But do we want to feel all nice and pleasurable, or do we want to fucking be a badass? I don't know. You know what I mean? So just cold showers are fucking great. Better for your skin, better for your health, better for everything. Another interesting thing about cold showers is they actually prime your dopamine release. So once you've gone into a shower, since it's kind of a bit difficult, I don't know the exact science, but for I think an hour afterwards, your release of dopamine has been amplified. So, if you, go into the cold shower, the habits afterwards, you actually get a higher release of dopamine, which is fucking sick. So cold shower is important, right? Cold shower is fucking good. What I personally do, especially in winter, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a bitch, right? In summer, I'll probably just take a full cold shower, but in winter it's cold, so I'll hop in, crank the fucking cold water, so it pours all over me, it's cold and shit, right? Once I'm drenched in cold water, then I can turn it hot. That's fine. You can have a warm shower in the middle, but I also end the shower cold, for your skin and everything, just to leave it cold. But as long as you start the shower cold and end the shower cold, you can have it warm in the middle. That's my rule that I give myself, right? Especially in winter, I don't want to be fucking freezing and get sick and everything. So as long as you begin the shower cold and end it cold, that's all good. And bro, honestly, just if you're starting out, and you really hate cold showers, just do it for like literally 1 second. Just pour cold water on yourself for 1 second and go, oh fuck, and then turn it hot. That's progress. If you don't take cold showers at all now, all you have to do is just fucking start with 1 second of cold water at the start and the end. Now, that's cold showers. Now, the next thing I do is... That's PT. Posture. Oh, fuck, it didn't... hold on. This shit's gonna start pissing me off. Posture training. That is my next habit. I've only brought this one in recently, but I just thought, posture's fucking sick. By having good posture, you're taller, your physique looks better, you already have this sense of more confidence. Having good posture is fucking great, right? You're more attractive. It actually, it fixes your facial attractiveness, your jawline. Everything is improved by posture, so posture's fucking lit. Personally, I do my posture training in the shower, because my house isn't very big, so it doesn't have many, like, flat walls. So what you do, essentially, is you stand flat up against the wall, and you create from your ass to like the top of your head, you get every single part of your body just flat on the wall, right? And this is actually harder than you think to do, especially if you've like never done it. So you need to like stand fucking like you get your whole entire body flat, and then shoulders back, everything flat against the wall, and then chin tucking too. So you keep your neck, you keep the back of your head on the wall, and then tuck your chin in. That helps facial posture, facial attractiveness, helps your posture. So you can just search up posture training techniques, chin tucking. I obviously just do this just to make me fucking hotter, just to give me a better physique, give me a better facial structure, everything. Another thing I do is you stand flat, you're flat on the wall, and you also put your arms back, like real fucking flat on the entire wall, and then almost do like a lat pull down motion. This trains like the muscles in your upper back that keep your body tensed up. Like keep your chest open and everything. So either way, posture training. I don't have to explain why posture training is good. You want good posture, so all these things, if you just do these every single day, even if it's just for fucking like 10 seconds, if you do this every single day, most motherfuckers don't, right? So after a week, I'm already gonna have better posture than everybody else. After a fucking couple years, I'm gonna be fucking up straight, right? I do these habits so I don't like deteriorate, you know what I mean? I'll be the one old man with like excellent posture. Just I've been training it every single day for like 40 years, you know what I mean? So either way, posture training. Now, my next habit, I gotta think about it. My next habit is Kegels. Kegel exercises. So I finish my shower, I come back into my room, I sit on my bed, and I look at myself in the mirror. You don't have to look at yourself in the mirror. I just like looking at myself because I'm fucking hot, right? So I look at myself in the mirror, and I do what's called Kegel exercises. So essentially, a Kegel exercise is just a dick exercise for your dick. So it's like just search up how to do a Kegel exercise. It's like you tense up your... Like I'm doing one right now. You can't see it, obviously, but my dick is like you have muscles at the base of your cock, is what I'm saying. And you can train those muscles by doing Kegel exercises. You know the muscle you flex when you kind of like, if you stop yourself pissing, you can kind of like do that. You can kind of like, it like sucks your dick in a little bit. Like, I just do like fucking like 10 reps of those. I just hold my dick. I like suck everything in for as long as I can. It trains your Kegel muscles, and the big benefit of this is it makes you last a lot longer when you're fucking a girl. So you last a lot longer, and I don't know. The main thing is you just last a lot longer, and also I think erection strength too. So your dick actually gets harder, and you can just after like doing this for a while, obviously, and using breathing techniques and stuff, you can last as long as you want. Right? I'm not great at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not great at it, but I can last a lot longer than I used to. Just by deep breathing into your stomach, and doing Kegel exercises. Like if you just search up Kegel exercises, they're worth doing. If you want to fuck girls harder, if you want to fuck girls longer, just have better sex, Kegel exercises is great for that. So after I do my Kegel exercise, staring at myself in the mirror, admiring my physique, doing Kegel exercises. Then what I'll do, oop, oh shit. I'll smile. SM for smile. So just all of this is within, if you look on my daily routine, this is that blue block that says morning routine. Most of my habits are in my morning routine. This is where I just slam out a bunch of different habits just to get them done. Just to get them done. I find it easier kind of early in the morning while I'm still fresh and everything. Just smash out all these habits. So, smile is the next one. This sounds weird, but if you're in a bad mood and you just force a smile, right? I stare in the mirror. People call it mirror gazing, where you just look at yourself in the mirror, build a connection with your body and everything. By the way, the entire morning routine, I have no clothes on. Like, I'm completely naked. I do that because I think it builds a better connection with my body. Mind-muscle connection, helps me out in the gym. And I just think we should feel comfortable having no clothes on. So the entire morning routine, I have no clothes. So either way, so I'm sitting on my bed, looking in the mirror, and I will smile at myself. If I'm in a bad mood, you just force a smile. Like a fucking some weird psychopath. You're just like, and you like start smiling. And I guarantee you, man, there is science behind this. When you smile, even if you force a smile, your brain associates that with happiness, obviously. So certain fucking endorphins or serotonin or whatever shit gets released, and you actually get into a better mood. So there's been days where I kind of feel like a bit like dark, like a bit low vibration, and then I'll just look at myself and smile. I'm like, I feel like 2% better. Like, I might as well do this every day. So, smile. Another thing that I've attached to this smile habit is positive affirmations. So, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm smiling, and I'm looking at myself, and I just say nice things to myself. That's all. I just sit there and go, bro, you're fucking sick. You're actually such a fucking dope fucking person, bro. Like, you look fucking like, bro, like, damn, like, you're fucking gaining hella muscle. You're fucking sick. You've actually been grinding on this YouTube shit. Like, bro, you make sick fucking music. You're the coolest motherfucker ever, bro. Like, I just hype the fuck. I just literally, like, glaze myself in the mirror, like, every morning. Like, imagine how sick that is. This, for me, this is the most pleasant morning routine. I've just done, like dick exercises, and now I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Like, oh shit, like, admiring, like, my biceps and shit, and I'm all like, oh damn, like, you're so fucking hot, bro. Like, you're so sick. Obviously, this is gonna put you in a better mood. When you do positive affirmations to yourself, you program your brain just to do them throughout the day. So I'll just be driving to work, right? And since I do positive affirmations every day, my brain just generates thoughts like that. Like, I'll just be driving, and I'll, like, catch a glance of myself in the mirror, and I'm like, oh shit, like, you little fucking scallywag, you little sexy motherfucker, bro. Like, I just get fucking excited. Like, it's just, positive affirmations are amazing. And this kind of ties into, the more woo-woo, like, kind of manifestation and law of attraction and everything. But either way, I just look at myself and, you're so fucking successful. Like, you're rich as fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you make hella fucking money and shit. Just all that sort of shit. I just look at myself and I just, you just say nice things to yourself, man. Like, you imagine the dream version of you, right? The best version of you ever. What would he say to himself in the mirror, right? How would he speak to himself? Just do that. That's within my smile habit. So I'm smiling, I'm looking at myself. I just pretty much, I play the role of like imagine I'm already super rich, successful. I fuck like tons of bitches. I have like a fucking mansion. I just pretend I'm like that motherfucker, and I'm just like talking to him, and it puts me in that frequency, and I live the rest of my day as like, yeah, fucking yeah, just hype myself up, right? So that's a lovely habit. I love doing that. So that's smile. Now, okay. Now the next habit after that is, that's MB, make bed, right? You need to make your bed every morning. It's just a simple requirement of being like a human being. You wake up, make your bed. My dad used to always say something to me, which he'd say, your room is a reflection of your mental state. So if you have a messy room, you have a messy mind, right? And I find that so true. Like if you can tell if you come to my house and my bed isn't made, I'm probably in a terrible mental state. I find those things very, very associated. So just take a little bit of pride and a little bit of order in your life and make your bed, right? Some days you won't want to. There's been days where I'm just like, oh, fuck, I don't want to fucking make this bed. But it's so much nicer, especially when you're making your life for your future self that much better. When you go to sleep and your bed's all nice and shit, it's all made up. It's not like fucking messy and like disgusting with like clothes on it. Like that's not nice going to sleep and your bed is all fucked up. And you're like, oh wow, like, oh, I must not even fucking care about myself enough to make my bed. Like, yeah, making a bed's a simple one, man. And it was a huge like, it on a weird tangent. When I was about 15, 16, I remember making my bed was one of the first habits that like got me onto self-improvement and everything. Because I watched some YouTube video and the guy said, yeah, you make your bed, you gotta make your bed. Every successful people, they always make their beds. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll make my bed. And it just set me on this trajectory of like, I just started feeling better about myself. And I'm like, oh, I have a clean bed. You know what I mean? Simple human thing. Clean up your bed, clean up your space, make it like, just tidy it, make it a little nice, you know? And then you're like, yeah, you just get a sense of pride from that. So make my bed. Now, once I've made my bed, what I will do is I will meditate. This is the one habit in my morning routine. This is the most important habit, hands down, right? If I could only do one habit in my morning routine, it would be meditate. 1,000%. So I clean up I make my bed, and what I do is I get a pillow for my lower back, and I sit on the end of my bed. I sit on my bed, and I meditate. Meditation's fucking amazing, man. Fucking insane. The benefit of meditation is what we're doing is training our presence, right? So the skill is to be present. Being present improves your life so much. It improves your mental health literally fucking tenfold because if you're present, pretty much all bad mental health, negative mental health is just thoughts, just negative thoughts. Typically, they're negative thoughts about, you might be anxious about the future, or you might be depressed about your past and depressed about who you are and the mistakes you've made, right? So all negative mental health, all bad mental health exists just in your thoughts and in psychological time is what we call it. In the imagined future and the past dwelling on bad things. So all bad mental health, all pretty much pain and suffering on the fucking earth is just thoughts. So by meditating, when you meditate, what you do is you direct all of your attention into the present moment. And you can do that through the breath. That's what I do. You focus on the breath. You can do other things, sounds and different things, but the breath is the easiest, right? So you focus all of your attention towards the present moment. And what happens when you do that is you withdraw your attention from your thoughts. Most people live their lives so kind of distracted and not focused and not really here, not present. I'm sure you've had the experience where you're speaking to someone and you can tell they're just thinking about something else, or they're thinking about what they're going to say, or they're thinking about like what they ate or some shit. You know what I mean? People are just thinking about shit when really we should just be here. We should just be here enjoying God's gift. And that's what presence is. So by meditating, oh fuck, I'm going to have to keep doing this fucking bullshit. So by meditating, that's what we're improving, is the skill of presence. The most basic how to meditate, just download the app on your phone. Download Medito. Medito. That's the one I used for ages. And trust me, just download the app and there's a daily guided meditation for 3 minutes. Just do the 3-minute meditation every single day. Trust me. I made the mistake back in high school where I'd try to do the 20-minute meditation. Because of course a 20-minute one is more optimal, it's better. But it's that much more difficult, right? So I didn't actually develop as much of a habit throughout high school. It wasn't until I toned it down and was like, fuck it, I'll start back at the 3-minute meditation. And that's so easy to do every single day. Meditation is just huge, man. Please, please meditate. Please. If everybody meditated, the world would be completely different. It would be amazing. Please meditate, man. Download the app and just try and do it every day. This is the most important habit of the entire fucking day, is just meditate. Please, bro. Please meditate. I'm begging you, bro. I haven't gotten anyone on meditation. No one fucking meditates. I've been fucking yapping about meditation, preaching to fucking people for fucking years. Like 4 years. No one's done it. Not one fucking person consistently meditates. So please, fucking please, bro. I'm doing it for your benefit. Fucking please, dude. Please fucking meditate. Either way, let's continue. So, after meditation, while I'm in that kind of in that vibe of being very focused and like zen and everything, when I'm after meditation, what I'll do is stretch. ST for stretch. So after meditation, still on my bed. I don't have much space in my room, so I used to do it on the floor at my old house. So I'd get on the floor and I'd do yoga and stretching, but now I just do it on my bed. So either way, right after you meditate, what I do is I stretch. Stretching is obviously good. Flexibility, it's just, stretching's good. I'm not really great at it, but I've obviously improved fucking significantly. Like when I first started stretching, all I do was just like, alright, touch my toes. If I could touch my toes every day, that was like, that I could write the habit down for me. But now, just without even trying, I've progressed and improved to the point where I have kind of like a stretching routine. And stretching's good. Flexibility, helps with fucking mobility and all that sort of shit. Just makes you better at fucking any athletic sort of thing. Stretching's great. I do my stretching after I meditate because I'm kind of in that zen focus, like yoga, So I do the stretching. Fucking great. Now after the stretching, the last habit of my morning routine is gratitude journaling. Yeah, that's what I write down. So gratitude journaling. And all you do for this, just grab a fucking journal, grab a book, grab a pen, and just write the words, I'm grateful for something. It could be anything. I'm grateful for fucking my family. I'm grateful for my car. I'm grateful for my dick. I'm grateful for women. I'm grateful for music. It could be fucking anything. It could be anything. And just make this easy for yourself. So as long as you do one statement of gratitude a day, that's fucking great. Obviously, you'll eventually do more, right? My habit is, as long as I do one, that's fine. So the days I'm not motivated to do it, I'll just do one. Some days I'll do fucking 10 if I'm feeling really, really grateful. Gratitude journaling's fucking amazing. Very similar to the affirmations. You just program your brain to generate grateful thoughts. So as you just go throughout your day, you're so used to just, oh yeah, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. That's fucking amazing. This is a big one for mental health. Fucking great. Gratitude journaling. I've also been kind of a tangent, but I've been experimenting with other journaling. That, like, everyone talks about gratitude journaling, but really you can do it with any sort of affirmation, right? If you want to become more confident, you can do confidence journaling. If you want to become more like loving of yourself, you say, I love this about myself. Just any sort of, you can just write positive things down in a book. Just nice thoughts. That's pretty much the basic essence of gratitude journaling. But yeah, obviously very beneficial. So that is my morning routine. At this point, it's 9 o'clock, and it's time for me to film a YouTube video. So that's my next kind of purple block there. Deep work video. So that's where I'll sit here and do a YouTube video. And after that, this at the top, I'll just write vid. That was very fucking messy. Fuck. I'll do that again. Sorry, bro. There you go. So the whole, obviously, I do YouTube. You're watching my YouTube. But I think the big, like, this obviously won't apply to most people filming a YouTube video, but I think it could. If it's not YouTube, what I'm doing here right now in the middle of the day, is sharing value with the world, contributing to humanity in kind of the most high leverage way that I can. If I sit here, post a video on the internet trying to help people, it might be able to reach a huge audience. Obviously, my videos get about 3 fucking views. Um, so, I'll improve that. But this is what I can do each and every day to spread value and to help people in large quantities, possibly. If a video, gets many views, then I just helped a lot of people. So that's what I do in the middle of my day. This is kind of the most, at this point in my life, I've made a lot of music. That's my earlier time block. I've made a lot of music. But right now, what I want to do is share my value and share my knowledge with people and help people. So that's what I do in the middle of the day. This might look different for you. Maybe you don't like doing YouTube videos. Maybe you'd rather, but I would really recommend it. Like, I'd recommend doing some form of content, right? You probably fucking consume tons of content. Everybody consumes content. But what we need to do is be producers. We need to produce things, create things. And if we create value and help humanity, this has been, like, I was always pretty good at the morning routine shit, but just recently, this past month, and back in April, I did it really well. Every day, I was doing videos, right? Whether it's YouTube videos or videos for my course that I sell. This gave me so much fucking fulfillment, bro, of knowing that this video could actually genuinely help someone. And I've made videos now, and obviously my YouTube channel is very, very small, but I've made videos where people have texted me and said, wow, thanks, man, like, what you said in that video actually helped me. And this, I can't explain this feeling of actually contributing to people and helping people, man. Like, I posted a video before, and my friend, it was a video about musicians and productivity and everything and how to make a lot of music. And my bro just texted me. And he watched the video. And he actually took the advice that I said in the video. And he recorded 6 songs in 3 days. Right? He made 6 songs in 3 days. And then he dropped his first album. And I was like, wow. I helped a guy do that. I helped someone fucking drop their first album. Like, that makes me so fucking happy. And he made that shit in like 3 days. He had a few songs lying around and he pulled it together in like 3 fucking days because he watched my video. That's unexplainable. The level of fulfillment it gives me. And I just want to do that for hundreds of thousands of people. And I want that to be my legacy and my contribution to the earth. So, for you, it might not be YouTube videos. Maybe you think YouTube's cringe. Maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe you'd enjoy doing some other social media. Twitter, Instagram, fucking TikTok or some shit. Facebook, I don't know how that works, but like, maybe you don't like filming videos, maybe you like writing, right? Maybe you want to write a book, right? Same thing, middle of the day, it's this block of sharing knowledge and sharing value and helping the world. That's all I'm trying to do in this. You can do it in so many different ways, but personally, I think the most high leverage way that I enjoy, that I could actually see myself committing to, is these YouTube videos. So, that's the middle of the day. That's my habit where I wrote vid. Just my time block of sharing knowledge, right? I think it's very important. So now we've done the video and we're at about 11:50 in the day. That is when I go to the gym. So right before I go to the gym, what I do is, put a little break here, but what I do is neck training. I train my neck. I could train my neck at the gym, but I don't like doing it at the gym because it looks really fucking weird, right? So I have a little setup outside. I have a little bench. I get a 10 kilo weight and I put it on so I lay down on the bench, I put the weight on my head, and then I do neck curls, and then I flip it around and do neck extensions. You can just search up how to train your neck. The whole purpose of neck training, it gives you a thicker neck. So you look more masculine. It makes your face more attractive. It improves your neck posture, your facial structure, everything. pretty much you look sexier if you have big neck. So I train my neck. I try and do that every day. Yeah, train your neck. Search up how to train your neck. Train your neck. So I train my neck, and then after neck, I'll drive to the gym. And once I'm at the gym, the habit that I have to do is PR. I have to hit a personal record, a PR, every day that I go to the gym. Like literally for like 95% of the days that I've gone to the gym ever, I've hit a PR. That for me at least, some people train a bit differently than me, but that's the whole point of going to the gym, is to get stronger, to get bigger muscles, and the only way you can track that and know you're doing that is by hitting a PR, lifting the most weight that you've ever done. So that's my habit. Sorry, my nose is getting kind of congested, but most days at the gym, I'll hit about, I'm gonna say on average, like 3 PRs, 2 to 3 PRs. And to me, that's progress. That's progressive overload. That means I'm getting stronger, I'm getting bigger muscles. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the gym for me. It's just hitting a PR. So as long as if I know that I've hit a PR at the gym, I've made progress. My physique has gotten 1% better. So that's pretty much my biggest fucking fitness habit, is just hitting a PR. As long as I go to the gym, hit a PR. And what that means is just, let's say I'm just going to do this very simple. Let's say I'm doing bench press. Right now I'm doing 50 kilos for 10 reps. Obviously I don't do that, but let's say I'm doing 50 kilos and I get 10 reps. Eventually I want to do 60 kilos, but it's too heavy right now. So what I do instead is I lift 50 kilos, but now I do it for 11 reps. So I add one more rep. That is still technically a PR, personal record. I did one more rep. So you go and then, add another rep. Now I did 12 reps of 50 kilos. 13 reps, just as an example. And then once you've done a bunch of reps, then you can put the weight up. So now I do 55, but I'm down to 6 reps again. So that's what's called a rep range. So personally, my rep range is 6 reps to 12 reps for most exercises. A lot of people are very different than that. But I'll do, 6 reps of something, and then every day I'll get at least one more rep, or every day I go to the gym and train that exercise, I get at least one more rep. But then once I hit 12 reps, then I put the weight up, right? So then I'll add another 5 kilos, another 10, probably 5 kilos. I'll add another 5 kilos, and then go back to 6 reps. And then every day it's another rep, another rep, another rep, until I put the weight up again. That's the concept of progressive overload, which is how you build muscle and everything. So hit a PR. That's the most important thing when you go to the gym. As long as you hit one PR every day, you should feel happy with yourself. So I'm at the gym. That's the PR. And so on my daily routine here, it says gym/social, right? When I go to the gym, that's pretty much the only time where I'm really out in public. The only time where I go out into the fucking world, right? I'm a weirdo. I'm just out at my house fucking filming YouTube videos all day. But the only time I go out and actually see other people is when I go to the gym. So my next habit, I just draw a smiley face. And that habit is speaking to a stranger, right? I try and do this every day just to improve my social skills, improve my ability of speaking to people and going up to people. So if I initiate a conversation with a stranger, then I get a little smiley face. And this one's really important, man. Like, if you want to get better socially, very comfortable in social situations, be able to speak to girls out in public and do these sorts of things, this is a great habit for me. So I just do a smiley face, because it reminds me to smile. When I go up to strangers, just smile, be nice. People are very, very nice. So that's another habit, just to improve my social life, is every day I try and speak to a stranger, someone I've never spoken to. Initiate a little conversation with a stranger. And, it can be short as fuck, and it'd be like, oh, hey, bro, how you going? Oh, nice, yeah. Oh, have a good day, man. As long as you say that, you've had a conversation with a stranger. It is nice, because you meet tons of people, especially when you go to the gym. Now I'm just starting to meet more people, so it's like, someone will come in the gym. I'm like, I know you. What's good? Yeah, it's like, it's just a little bit nicer when you can go out into public, you can go out into your town, and you know like half the people there. It's fucking sick. It's really cool. Yeah, social life's fucking amazing, man. Being social connection is fucking sick. So that's my next habit. I just do a little smiley face. That means I've spoken to a stranger. Now, after I've done the smiley face, after I've been to the gym, been social, these are the kind of the core habits for the day. And sometimes I'll go straight from the gym to work if I have another shift. But if not, I go home and I do some more reading. Since I've already done reading in the day, I don't track it again. But reading and learning, there isn't any habit, but just it's an important part of the daily routine, I think, to just educate yourself, just to learn and to just grow as a person, and especially with a specific issue you've been having, right? If there's something you want to improve in your life, just find a book about it. You know what I mean? If you want to improve your social skills, there's a book about it. If you want to make more money, there's a book about that. There's books about creativity. There's books about productivity. There's books about fucking everything. There's books about how to have better sex. You know what I mean? I have books about that shit. The Way of the Superior Man is like a fucking guide to like being a man and having fucking good sex. So there's books about everything, right? And I think to have a good couple hours in the afternoon where it's nice, you can just chill out. You know, you've been to the gym, you've done your hard work for the day, and you can just sit there and read and just I'm getting smarter, nice. You know, get some tea, you just chill, get some comfy clothes on, you're just chilling there reading, learning, improving. And sometimes if I'm a bit of a bitch and I don't want to read a book, I'll watch like a podcast or something, right? I think if it's an actually genuinely educational podcast, right? Where the podcaster, the guy speaking, you'd like to be more like him, right? When we consume content, we will be influenced by what we watch. So I purposely only try to watch things where I would like to be more like the creator. So I'll listen to rich people speaking. I'll listen to successful people speaking. That's if I don't want to read a book. So read, learn. That's a great fucking part of the daily routine. So after I read and I learn, then my next habit is I'll go for a walk. The walk is lovely. Here I in the daily routine, it's walk/nature. So what I like to do, especially after I've read, after I've learned, after I've experienced some things throughout the day, I've spoken to some people, if I just chill out and go for a nice walk in a national park, right? Or go swimming, right? Swimming is fucking better, right? But if you can just go out into nature once a day and really immerse yourself in nature, really be next to all the trees, really looking at a bunch of green and everything, it's fucking great for our brains. And I think when you go on a walk too, you get to process the information throughout the day. You get kind of a chill spot where you don't have to think about anything. You can kind of just, you think about what you read in that book and you're like, I could probably apply that, I could do this. I think it's great for your brain. It's great for us as humans to be out in nature at least once a day. So that's my next habit is walk. Walking is fucking great. Going for a walk, it's amazing. And it's better if it's in nature. Right? It's better if it's, I have a national park not far from me. Fucking beautiful waterfall, creeks, different weird little animals running around and shit. So I just take a walk through there. So sometimes I'll even bring my book. If I'm really invested in the book, I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll bring it and I'll go on a walk. And I'll just go out in the middle of nature in some creek somewhere just reading some book. It's fucking lovely. Very, very chill. And sometimes you can meet people on your walk, and that's really fun too, So walking is a nice habit to have. The way I structure my daily routine, just as another point here, is that the hardest, most important, difficult things are first, right? So I do the kind of, I wake up and I'm skipping in the dark, cardio straight away, things like that, right? Reading, doing all these things, fucking then the gym and sometimes filming YouTube videos is actually quite kind of taxing. Like you have to sit here. It's kind of, you have to use your brain, you have to focus, and it's kind of awkward, and you're talking and shit, right? So, this work that I do early in the day up here is a little bit more difficult. But as the day goes on, this area is very, very, very chill, right? I'm just reading, I'm just walking. Still important, but That's how I would recommend to structure your day, right? If you're when you're creating your own daily routine, right? And please do after you watch this video, no excuses. Just get up Google Calendar and just create a daily routine. Do the hardest things first, and it gets easier as your day goes on. That's the best way to structure your day. Now, yep, done the reading, gone for a walk, gone in nature, and now it's down here, right? So the next time block is just protein / family. So this is the time where I'll really, have a meal with my family, speak to my sisters, and, really just try and be present and enjoy their company and have good conversations. So hanging out with your family is obviously awesome, right? Hanging out with your family, people you care about, social connection, but also protein. So in this time block, these are some of the last habits in the day. What I do is track macros. TM. Track my macros. So I have an app on my phone where I will, scan the barcode of whatever food I'm eating, or just search up chicken, ground beef, and I weigh my food on a scale. So this is, this is, again, takes a bit of discipline, but I've just become so used to doing this. I will just track my macros. So, another side point is I pretty much fast throughout the entire day. I don't eat. I eat a little bit before the gym. I eat fruit and honey before the gym. Kind of carbohydrates give me a bit of energy. Well, you know what I mean. It's fruit, so I don't eat grains. I try not to eat bread, pasta, any of that shit. But fruit, I can eat fruit. I eat fruit before the gym. But I don't eat all day, pretty much. So when I come home about 5:15 p.m., I just fucking eat, bro. I will spend from 5 to 6:30. I'm just eating. I'm just fucking eating a lot, right? To get fucking protein and shit. So I'll track my macros, weigh out my food. That's a great habit. Obviously, that requires a bit of discipline. I'm not gonna lie. That's yeah, that's a bit of a difficult one. But just buy the food scale, and if you're not eating throughout the day, and if you eat a simple diet, like most days especially when I'm really locked in and disciplined, I eat a very simple diet, right? I'll just come home and I'll have 2 chicken breasts and 100 grams of ground beef, or something like that. And that's literally it. I just weigh that out. Very, very simple. I just track 2 things, and I'll put, what I mean, I'll put fucking salt and pepper and sauce on it or whatever, I don't track the sauce. Shit like that. So obviously tracking your macros is a lot easier if you have just a simple diet, which I think we should as humans. Just come home, just eat meat. Just meat. Yeah, eat meat. Eat meat. So I track my macros. And my next habit, not really much of a habit, but 200. That means I've hit my 200 grams of protein for the day. That's my goal. If I get a little bit lower, if I get 180, maybe even 160, I still write it down. That's still a dub. That's still more than 90% of the population. But 200 grams of protein is my personal goal. Obviously, that's quite on the high end, right? A lot of people will say 180. Depends how much you weigh. Obviously, changes a lot based on how much you weigh, but I'm 80-something kilos. But I want to be 90, 100 at some point, so I just eat the protein that I know I'm going to have to eat when I weigh more. So 200 grams of protein. If you're a decently big guy, 200 grams. If you're a bit of a smaller guy, 180 grams. Around that, right? The point is, eat a lot of fucking protein. Get it from meat. Meat's the best. I'm not going to lie, I still have protein powder just in case. I have protein powder just in case, fucking, all the meat's frozen, or I ate all the meat, and then it's and then I can just chug protein shakes. Yeah, so I track my macros, get my 200 grams of protein, and that 200 grams of protein is fucking huge for, protein synthesis, muscle gains. Protein's fucking amazing. Hit your fucking protein, bro. 200 grams of protein. Boom. So, but my afternoon's very, very chill. I'm just there speaking, hanging out with my family. They might watch some. They might put on some TV, and this is where the bad habits come in. Where I try not to watch movies too much. But if I'm alone, I'll just watch educational videos. I'll just watch courses and shit. You know what I mean? I'll just watch like discipline, like masculinity content while I'm like eating my protein. You know what I mean? So I'd say as long as you watch long form, educational, like some fucking Alex Hormozy podcast or some shit, like that's valid. Andrew Huberman, people like that, like that's valid to watch while you're eating. Don't watch some fucking like short form or like some. Don't fucking consume content. Yeah. um, yeah. So those are pretty much my last habits there. And then at 7:30 on my daily routine, 7:30, I get an alarm on my phone that all the alarm says is just plan tomorrow. So what that habit is, bring it around here. PL, plan. So fucking this shit, bro. Sorry. Plan. So at 7:30, I get my journal here. And what I do is I just write down a quick plan. So here's an example. Doesn't really matter what it says, but I just write down some shit, right? So I say plan for the 21st of September. I just say, record this video. No, I got back day. I got to do that. I got to, so you write down a rough plan for the day. Obviously, you have the daily routine, so every day follows the same structure, but within each, time block, there's going to be certain nuances and differences. So obviously, you're going to plan to hit a different thing at the gym each day. One day will be chest, one day's back, one day's fucking arms. You'll record different videos. So pretty much, I just plan. I like planning my day because when I wake up, I don't have to think. I just wake up, the plan's right there for me. I don't need to think about anything, what I'm going to do, what time I'm going to do it. I just set the plan for myself. Right? You just want to make it super fucking easy for yourself to do the good habits. And that's what, by having this routine, by having a plan for the day and everything. So I wake up, I got my plan. That's what I do. Yeah, so before I go to bed, 7:30, I just write down a quick plan for the next day. Then after I plan, what I do is design environment. DE. I design my environment. So what that means is I just prepare everything for the next day. So if I'm going to make music, right? If I've planned, all right, tomorrow I don't have work, so I'm going to make music. Then what I do is I set everything up. I set up the microphone, I set up my guitar, I plug it into the thing, I set everything up. So this is what you prime your environment for whatever specific task you're going to be doing. So within designing your environment, what I skip every morning. So what I do is I get my skipping rope, I hang it on the doorknob, then I get my shoes and I put my shoes and my socks right next to my bed. So I wake up, put them on, I walk out of my room, grab the fucking skipping rope, go out and skip. By designing your environment, it just becomes so much easier to get straight into the fucking whatever you're working on in the morning. It's, you don't want to have to wake up. Let's say you wake up and you've planned to make music. You don't want to have to wake up and then you gotta fucking like plug, get FL Studio up and then download this and then plug this in and then you gotta fucking get this and do all this shit. You don't want to have to set anything up in the morning. You're right. You set it up when you're kind of tired and fatigued, and then it's ready for you right in the morning. So I do this with anything. If I know I'm gonna do some work on my business on the laptop, I'll just get everything set up. So I just easily just wake up and it's right there for me. Another thing in design environment that I do is I make a cup of coffee, right? And this sounds so, everyone looks at me like I'm a fucking psychopath when I do this, right? I'll make a cup of coffee the night before and I'll put it right next to my bed. So when I wake up, I can immediately drink the coffee. Just, immediate hit of caffeine, I'm up, I'm awake, right? People think I'm fucking weird because it's cold coffee, right? Cold black coffee, it's kind of gross, right? But that's just another thing I do. So you want to make your environment as easy as possible for you to just wake up and get straight into whatever work you're doing. So that is design environment. Now, the next one. Sorry, man, this is a fucking in-depth video. I'm getting fucking tired, but design environment. Now the next one is this might look different for you, but PY is just pray. That's what I use for pray. So once I've planned, I've designed my environment, Everything's ready for me to go to sleep. I'm getting all nice and sleepy. I just kneel next to my bed and I pray. I don't really know how to pray. You know what I mean? I'm probably not very good at it. I haven't gone to church for a very, very long time. But I believe in God. I read the Bible. I have the Bible next to my bed. I read the Bible before I go to sleep. I think there's lots of benefits and value that I can get from religion, and I just try and have this habit of just praying to God, even if I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know what to call Him by or this and that. I sit there and usually what I'll do is I'll thank Him. I'll thank God for every single positive experience and emotion that I've had thus far. I'll thank Him for the things in my day. I'll thank Him for, I'll tell Him that I'm grateful for what He's given me. And I'll acknowledge where I've sinned and the mistakes I've made throughout the day. So, sometimes I will do the bad habits. Sometimes, even if it's something as simple as like, oh yeah, I'll be praying to God and I said, I succumbed to my temptation when I smoked that cigarette today. I smoked that cigarette, or, yeah, I shouldn't have eaten that junk food. I know I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry. I'll ask for forgiveness. I just think this is a good practice. I don't know enough about it, but I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I think there's value I can get from religion. I want to be a good person. So, I will pray before I go to bed. Even if it's just short. Even if it's just, thank you, God, this and that. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of fucked up today when I did that. I'll just pray a bit. So I think that's a good one. Now, probably at this point, I'll write down all the bad habits that I didn't do. So, no YouTube. Let's say I did it 4 days in a row. No YouTube. I used to have this terrible habit of going to sleep, watching YouTube. Like, I'd be watching videos while I'm going to sleep. Fucking terrible for you. Blue light. If you have blue light in your eyes when the sun's gone down, it has a direct correlation with depressive symptoms. No fucking lie, bro. There's studies and shit. If you have blue light in your fucking eyes after the sun goes down, it gets worse and worse. If it's like 10 p.m., you got fucking blue light in your eyes, instant fucking depressive symptoms. So don't do that. That was a terrible habit for me, watching YouTube before bed. So, no YouTube. What else do we got? Where I'm at. No cigarettes. No weed. Yeah, I'll put the streak. Let's say no cigarettes for 4 days. We got no weed for 12 days. No carbs. No content. That's just an example of the bad habits that I didn't do. So obviously, if you do the bad habit, then you don't get to write it down, right? So if I'm like, oh fuck, I smoked a cigarette today, then I don't write no cig. So I break my streak. Yeah, so I write all those down. And then another thing, I just write down a nice little memory in the middle. Yeah, I hung out with my friends. Oh, this funny thing happened at work. I'll just write it down. Just something to remember about the day. Then after that, one of my last habits is... Sorry, that's a bit messy. Fuck. Oh, I'm so sorry, bro. There we go. Mouth tape. So I get tape. Right, it's specific, a certain type of tape. I forgot what it's called. You can buy it at the chemist, but I tape my mouth shut. So when I go to bed, I don't mouth breathe. This is great. It improves your, it improves your ability to breathe through your nose. And a big thing is, so you're just not mouth breathing through the night. Because obviously mouth breathing is terrible for your facial structure, your jawline. You get like a fat fucking neck. You look like a fucking retard, right? So it sucks, but when you go to sleep, you can't control whether you're mouth breathing or like mewing or some shit, right? So just fucking, you put the tape on. Yeah, it's like little bit annoying. Oh, I gotta put fucking tape on my mouth. It looks weird, right? Put the mouth tape on. Yeah, mouth tape's good. It's real cheap. I just have it right next to my bed. It's right there so I can see it. Mouth tape. Now, then I'll write the time I go to bed. 8 o'clock. Set my alarm and everything. then boom, write down 8 o'clock. And that's it. That's my day, man. That's my day. I'm sorry, I'm sure this video has been fucking long, but I wanted to give you as much value as possible. Another thing is I highlight different things based on what they are, just for a little more organization. That's not a highlighter at all. Hello? Sorry for this video dragging on, man, but I think there's a lot of value. This video is not going to get many views. Of course not, because it's a little bit, you know. But either way, so any bad habit I didn't do, I just highlight it red. I just think that makes a lot of sense. The fitness habits, so anything related to fitness, skip, neck training, PR, and 200 grams of protein. That's all my fitness, physical fitness. So that gets highlighted in blue. This is just whatever fucking colors I had, you know what I mean? But just organization. Then everything else is just kind of like yellow, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, good habits. What do? I do orange for my work habits. So I did a video or made music. Those are my work habits. Yeah, so just some extra, like you would have noticed a lot of highlighter on my calendar. And another thing I do is you'll develop your own system, of course, when you do this, but I underline just in purple habits that I'm focusing on. So habits that are really important. I think meditation's very, 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 very important. So not all habits are created equal, right? Some things will deliver better results and more results than others, right? Like my Kegel exercises. Obviously that's great for, sex, but not anything else really. But meditating is great for sex and everything else, right? Meditating's fucking amazing. So that's why I underline meditating. Gratitude journaling's pretty big. And also I underlined the little smiley guy there because I think social skills are important to have. Yeah. Either way, so any habits you're specifically focusing on, I just kind of underline them. That's my day, man. That's my day. I'm fucking wrecked after this video. I'm like, fuck. I'm getting hot and shit. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. The video took a while. But this is really fucking in-depth. This is really in-depth. You should... This took me, like, a couple years, bro, of developing. Like, I've gone through a lot of changes and a lot of improvement through my schedule and different things over the past couple years. And this is what I've arrived at. So... hopefully I can just skip that whole 2 years that you would have had to fuck around with habit tracking. And I've just given you everything, right? Like, I've just given you the fucking sauce. But, yeah, man. The improvement that this has given my life is unexplainable. I actually do the good habits now. Literally, I knew about habit tracking for a couple years before I ever did it. Right? And then I got Atomic Habits, the book. And then I'm like, fuck, bro, like, I have to fucking do this now. Like, I'm not fucking around anymore, man. Life is too short, bro. Life is too fucking precious to fuck around anymore, bro. It's not. If you've made it this far in the video, you're the type of person that actually gives a fuck. You're the type of person who's actually gonna fucking succeed, man. So... I tried to drop the fucking sauce in you. I tried to fucking help you, give you as much value as I can. But please, create your own daily schedule. Get a fucking calendar. Get some pens and some highlighters. It's great, the calendar's on my wall, right? So every day I walk past it, it's fucking my whole life is like surrounded around this calendar. Like, this is my fucking existence. And I'm telling you, man, if I'm having a shitty week, right? If I'm genuinely, like, fucking not feeling good, right? Like, I'll just be honest about it, man. Like, fucking mental health, like, sometimes it gets shit. Sometimes it gets really fucking bad, man. Sometimes it gets really fucking bad. But I've looked, like, since I've started doing this shit with the calendar and everything, I've looked back and without fucking fail, every single time that I have shit mental health, there's nothing on this fucking square, right? Every time I have great mental health, this square is full of shit. So, of course, I've probably started to associate my own happiness and well-being with these habits and with, my productivity and everything. But I think it's a truth, man. It's just when I'm really lacking, like when I'm really in a rut, mentally feel like I just feel like fucking shit, right? What every single time that I've pulled myself out of a bad mental space, it's because of these two fucking things next to me, man. Just because I'll wake up and I'm like, alright, bro, I know you don't want to. I know it's fucking. When you have bad mental health, it's so much harder to do the habits. So much fucking harder. Right? And that's why I've talked a lot about just being nice to yourself, smiling, give yourself positive affirmations, hype yourself up. Because when you're fucking depressed, it's fucking really hard to be productive. But with these fucking two things, this is my system to pull myself out of like a bad mental state. Right? When I'm feeling really bad and there's nothing on my calendar, I've been really unproductive, I haven't done anything. I just know that, like, fuck it, bro. I'll get up and I'll do one skip tomorrow, right? And then I'll look at the sun for 1 second, and then I'll fucking read, and then I'll have a cold shower. And once you're like halfway through the morning routine, you're already starting to feel better about yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm kind of productive, yeah. Like, you're like, oh, I gotta smile, so you're like, you're like smiling in the mirror, like it feels a bit fucking weird, but you know what I mean. You're doing it, and then, yeah, man, this is completely like this system. It's obviously it's quite personal to me. Yours is gonna look a lot different, but this has changed my entire fucking life. This has given me the ability to be in control again, to giving me the trajectory to, like, sorry, man, my brain's kind of scrambled because I've been here a while, but just fucking please, man. Like, this is literally, I've dropped the sauce. This is every habit I fucking do. I just really want to help you, man. I just really want people to understand the benefit of this. And I know it looks a bit fucking autistic and psychopathic of like, oh, I write down every single fucking thing I do. But the big point I want to say is that I have the ability now to improve my mental health within a matter of days. Because, if I know that if I do this, if I fill this out for like 3-4 days in a row, I will have peak mental health. Fucking peak. Because it's like productivity. Like, when I'm doing shit, when I'm doing the habits, I know my future is so fucking bright when I'm writing this shit down. Because I know I'm working every fucking day. I'm making these videos. I'm making music. I'm working on my fucking physique. Working on my social skills. Everything is fucking improving. I know for a fact it's discernible fucking evidence. There's no vague ambiguity. This is fucking evidence that I've been fucking working. So when I have a month that's full of this shit, I feel so fucking proud of myself. I look in the mirror like, you're a fucking G. You're an absolute fucking monster, bro. You're so lit. You know? Man, I hope you found this valuable. I know this is a fucking big video, but fucking drop shit, stay lit. Have a fucking good one, lad.